Hi everyone, welcome to Breathe and Bake, where we provide tips and different exercises that you can do to help bring mindfulness and intention into the cooking process, to help it be really more enjoyable for you, hopefully somewhat restful, somewhat rejuvenating. Today, what we are talking about are ways to make cooking more relaxing. The kitchen can be a very stressful place for a lot of people. So let's look at how we can change this doing a few simple things. You don't need to do all the things. Maybe you choose one and focus on it, or maybe you integrate one at a time. First step, start with a clean slate. I find it very difficult to clean, not to clean. I do find it difficult to clean. It is not my favorite. But I find it very difficult to cook in a kitchen that is not clean. So if there are a bunch of dishes in the sink, if there is the kids' homework all over the counter, I find it very difficult to cook in an environment like that. And I feel like a cluttered kitchen leads to my mind also being cluttered. So I take 5 or 10 minutes to typically ask my family to come in here, clean up the homework, do their dishes, I'll wipe down counters, and then I can start working. You could also take that time to gather everything that you need to help organize your cooking process. Next, you have heard me say this in other videos as well, you can set your mood in the kitchen, okay? You can make yourself a cup of tea to sip on while you are cooking to help you slow down. You can light a candle, you can put music on, so you could really create the kind of atmosphere that you would like your kitchen to be. And that could make cooking feel less like a task and more like an experience that is going to help you to unwind from your day or to start your day in a good way. Next up, remember that cooking does not need to be rushed. You do not need to chop as quickly as the chefs do on TV or what you see happening on videos on your social media. Slow down, cut your vegetables, your fruits, your herbs in a way that feels right for you and your experience level. You do not need to rush around the kitchen, and actually give yourself permission to slow down and savor that process. Notice what it's like as your knife is gliding through your peppers. Listen to the sounds of that. Look at the pieces and notice, are they exactly the same? Are things different? Notice the sound of the food as you put it into the pan. Notice the aromas, all of the colors around you, and embrace that experience of slowing down and being present. One of the best tips that I'm going to give you is to embrace mise en place. That means that everything is in its place. So what we are not doing, let me go there. What we are not doing is that we are not pulling up a recipe on our phone and then being like, okay, first the onions need to go in. Chopping onions, throwing it in, and seeing what needs to happen next so that you're running back and forth from your kitchen cabinet to your pantry to your fridge and trying to get everything ready before you burn the stuff on the stove. That is not what we're going to do. What we are going to do is that we are going to read through the recipe and say, oh, I need a cup of chopped peppers. I need 2 cloves of chopped garlic. I need 3 tablespoons of freshly chopped basil. I need 2 cups of vegetable stock. Whatever you need, you are going to prep those ingredients and have them already chopped, sliced, measured, whatever you need to execute that recipe, you are going to have that in front of you, and then you are just going to do it step by step and not have to rush around the kitchen. What this also allows you to do is then take restorative breaks. I have a video on the channel that goes more into depth on taking restorative breaks and how to integrate them into your cooking process. What I will say in an abbreviated version is that if you are not running around your kitchen trying to get everything ready to toss in the pan before it burns or boils over or whatever is going to happen, and you have everything prepped, that then gives you time to just breathe, to stretch, to do nothing, to observe the cooking process. Whatever you want to do, you will have the time to do that because you are not rushing around. So I feel like the mise en place really creates that opportunity for you to take those restorative breaks. And then finally, use cooking as a time for connection. I myself really enjoy when my kids help me in the kitchen. It was not always restful when they did. When they were a bit younger, it was a bit more work when they wanted to help me in the kitchen. However, through that and taking the time and helping them learn how to measure properly, and that also helps slow you down, by the way. Bring a young kid into the kitchen and you have to really teach them how to do step by step. That will slow you down. So another tip maybe in there, a tip within a tip. But invite others in the kitchen as a way to connect and have it be a more relaxing, enjoyable experience. And it really facilitates those opportunities to build memories. So even though having little ones in the kitchen might not feel restful to you at first, it does create really meaningful experiences. I wonder how many of us can remember when we were younger and helping in the kitchen and what that was like for us. So this gives that opportunity to build those memories and make those meaningful connections. The other thing that I would say, and I am guilty of this as well, is that often when I invite family over or invite friends over, that I want everything to be perfect and done and laid out when they arrive, or perfectly timed. So that way, once our appetizers are done, our dinner's gonna get done at the right time, and it's all gonna be perfectly timed. I'm giving you and myself permission to release ourselves from that stress. You might consider inviting people over to help as part of the cooking process, to make something together. One of the things that is one of my favorite food memories was when my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, was still alive, and she would teach myself and my cousins and my father's friends all how to make her sofrito. And watching her in the kitchen, and we would all chop different ingredients, and then she would put it in the blender, and we would make a huge batch, and everybody would take some home, and then we would also cook something with it. And it was just a really wonderful way to all be in the kitchen together and contributing to that meal. Cooking does not have to be a stressful experience. With the right planning, with a clean space, with a little change to the approach that you bring to your cooking, it can be a more relaxing and enjoyable experience for you. I hope these tips help you slow down and find some joy in your kitchen and the cooking process. I'd love to read your comments on how you make cooking a relaxing experience, or what is relaxing about cooking to you. Or if you struggle and feel really stressed out, in the kitchen, tell us about that too, and maybe we can make a video to help support you.